Hey guys, welcome to episode 9. Being outside today, it's nice in the shade. So, I want to talk about the piece of letting go of our stories, or learning how to put our stories down. Maybe not permanently, but even just for a little bit, even just for a few minutes at a time. It's really refreshing to just pause and to put everything that we hold on to down for a moment and just take a break. Take a break from our minds, take a break from the responsibilities that we're in, take a break from everything. And this is really like a meditation, actually, being able to drop the stories. And in some ways it's complex, and in other ways it's very simple. So, the reason it's complex is because most of us are very much always operating in mind and thinking. And dropping the story also very much means returning to silence, dropping all the things going on in our mind. And so if this is a new concept to you, it's going to be a bit confusing, because the mind's like, what does that even mean? Like, why would I want to drop my story? Or who would I be without the story? Or all kinds of stuff can come up. And yet it's very important for just resetting. And so if you have a meditation practice, or if you don't, just either way, taking time throughout your day, even just a few seconds to pause, focus on the breath, and kind of just let go of whatever's happened today, from the moment you woke up to this moment that you're listening. Imagine it's sort of just fading off into the distance. It's there, but it's not really there at the same time. Giving yourself a reset. Having this reset button is really valuable. And I mean, honestly, I really try to live in the reset. It's like at first I was only comfortable dropping my stories for a few moments and enjoying the piece, and then kind of falling back, diving back into the drama, into the problems, the life situation, what do I need to figure out here and what do I need to figure out there. But over time I've found that I actually prefer the majority of my time to be in the reset, so to speak, in the present moment. And when it's really necessary, then going into the mind, into planning and contemplating the past and learning from the past and exploring the possibilities of the future. So dropping the story. A really simple way to dropping the story is it's how you direct your attention. So our story of ourself, for example, me, Ryan, with my, everything that's ever happened to me in my past, all the labels that are attached to me as being a guy and being in America, and I guess now kind of being spiritual and having all these tasks, being a dad, being a partner, so many things in my life situation, making videos. Yet most of the time I'm not really holding any of that. It's sort of like that's all there, and I honor all of it, but I don't define myself by any of it. It's just part of what is. And there's such a freedom in letting go of that weight of needing to be somebody. Another way of dropping the story is kind of just dropping the story of the me and of needing to be someone, and learning to be a bit more comfortable being nobody in particular. which may sound a bit counterintuitive, in the beginning. It seems like our whole world is striving for attention, striving to be somebody, to make it, to show our friends and our family and random strangers that we've made it, we're successful. So this idea of dropping all of that and being no one seems counterintuitive to the mind. But it's really important. It's really important for our mental health and spiritual health to find the peace that comes with being no one in particular. Just being. No need to stand out. No need to be on top of the world or, competition of this, that, or the other, all the ways competition sneaks in. Maybe even competition of spirituality, which is ironic, but it does happen. So yeah, just taking a little bit more time in our daily life to just slow down, listen to the nature. Yeah, like sitting with the trees and the wind and animals. Just being no one for a while. It's very refreshing. It's interesting too, because as far as like the being someone thing goes, a lot of famous people, would kind of label the famous people or the really rich people as like being somebody. And yet they too, you see it and you hear it quite often, they actually feel a negativity in that weight of being the somebody, of maintaining a certain persona or a certain personality or a certain image. It's exhausting, regardless of who you are, regardless of whether you're super famous or you have like 3 followers on Twitter. It's still exhausting to maintain this persona. And I believe it's partly because it's not really what we're naturally supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be trying to carry on these images of ourselves. We're supposed to just exist and not have all this fear and all this pressure and responsibility in a sense of maintaining a certain look or a certain style or a certain persona, or whatever. So even people that we might deem as being somebody still has to go through this exact same part of their path in learning how to be comfortable being no one. And you might say it's a bit harder for people that are really popular and stuff, because everybody else is telling them they are someone. So the desire to create that powerful sense of self is a bit more easy to do, whereas for most of us that are not known, it's almost in a sense easier, because we don't have a bunch of people telling us that we're awesome, and you know what I mean, that like feeding this sense of self based on the material reality. So yeah, being comfortable being no one, it's important for everyone to learn and to practice. The irony of this too is the more you're comfortable being no one, as in not needing recognition, not needing attention, not needing anything, the more you're naturally able to just be yourself, to be comfortable in your own skin, in your own body. You stop playing all these games of needing to look a certain way or act a certain way. You have this freedom to be yourself when you let go of all that story. It's really a beautiful thing. Not to mention healing in many ways. So I highly recommend, take a moment right now after this video ends to just sit and just drop whatever's been on your mind for a moment. Just take a break from it. Just put it next to you. It's there, but you don't need to be in it completely. And enjoy. Much love.